I am a big fan for believing something about someone because you have had that personal experience with them. I see way too many people in my life, in different parts of my life, that judge people based off of what someone else said to them or a group of circle of friends said to them about that person. And I really like to figure it out for myself. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to extend trust until that trust has been broken. I like to read a person's energy and my gut feeling about them and whether or not I feel like I can trust them all on my own. And sometimes I feel like people in general get caught up in that trap of the gossip circle or someone talking negatively and then them assuming that that other person is not a good person for whatever reason. I've recently had a number of different places in my life that it's come to light that a person has had some negative conversation about different people, sometimes multiple different people, and that other people are taking it in that those people have the issue, that the other people have the issue. And at the end of the day, sometimes you discover that it was the person that was sharing all of those negative details that is having some sort of issue. Sometimes you find that out because you find out that that person is sharing negative information about you. And I find it to be very enlightening when that happens, because all of a sudden you realize, oh, that person has said something about me that's not 100% truthful. Now I have to go back and think, what might they have said about other people in my life that I need to now process a little differently? I need to maybe take off the colored glasses that that person might have tried to put on your face to judge this other person, to believe something about this other person that may or may not be true. Within human communication, so often there's her story, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth, right? That's happened for decades and decades and centuries and centuries. So I think it's always best to judge someone for how do they treat you? How do you see them treat the service staff at a restaurant? How do you know they treat their staff at their business? Or any way where I'm not relying on negative information from someone else. I had a meeting today with someone that this situation came out that there had been someone that had been saying negative things about me. But then this person had a negative experience with this same person, and she realized, I now look back and see like 10 different people that I know that this one person said a lot of really negative things about, and now she's done it to me. So I need to reassess and think, did I rely too much on someone else's thought process on someone or experience with someone? Because sometimes that experience is 100% true, and sometimes that experience is a projection of something going on with that person. If that person is going through some insecure moments or doesn't feel solid in something, then many times in human emotions, that person will then project something negative to someone else. I'm not really sure why we do this. Somehow, I think biologically within our brain chemistry, there's a temporary lift of feeling empowered, feeling better than, feeling something when you go and badmouth other people. And it happens a lot. So I, again, try to go with how are you with me? I'm going to judge you with me. And if someone else says something negative, I'm going to take that with a big old grain of salt. Big old grain of salt in a, you know, salt and pepper shaker with one on the top and one on the bottom. One of those big ones that they bring out for the salad at a nice restaurant. And make sure that I'm not relying on someone else to tell me about another human being. I think going back to how people treat other people when you see them out and about as well, and how people speak about other people is something we also pay attention to or should pay attention to often. If you are with someone and you realize that they just went down the gamut of 6 people saying negative things about them, then you have to wonder, are those things true, or are those part of this projection I'm talking about? And also, if you're hanging out with someone that's always talking negative about other people, and I've said this before, chances are they're saying negative things about you. And you want to protect that. Another thing that comes into play is miscommunications. I have had miscommunications with people. I do my best to discover them, to work them out, to kind of talk about them directly. But there have been a few people in my life where we've had severe miscommunications, long lasting, sometimes miscommunications that's never been worked out. And that is a really difficult relationship to manage. It's really difficult to be in authentic, happy, kind communication and relationship with someone when at the end of the day, you're not able to talk about things and you're maybe walking on eggshells around them. That feeling is so uncomfortable to me. So I try my best to keep all of my relationships at that higher level where if man, if you hurt my feelings, I want to just be able to go to you and say, hey, when you said that, when you did that, that really hurt my feelings. But sometimes those miscommunications, if not kind of figured out and talked through, can turn into the things that other people talk about you. And sometimes they're just shared. And at the end of the day, you hear the story. There's probably a little telephone game going on, but you hear the story and you're like, that's just not true. I actually didn't say that. Or this is what I said. And this was the misinterpretation or miscommunication of what I meant. And when those things happen, it's really hard to go through. It's really hard to try to kind of deal with the feelings that come with when someone has said something negative about you that you know just isn't true or is a little off or is mostly off. And again, I prefer to just go straight to the source and talk to that person directly if something like that happens. I've had to walk away from groups of friends before that have done this often. I've talked about this before in some of the other Socket podcasts. And I realize as I get older, I am drawn to people that are uplifting, that spread positivity, that give people the benefit of the doubt. Even if something does negative come up, I try to just say, you know what, we just don't know what they're going through. Maybe they're going through a really tough time, or if someone struggles in the same way over and over and over, I try to just send them some positive energy, kind of give them some grace of, man, this seems like a struggle that you have ongoing in your life or in some of your relationships, whether it's family dynamics, it's friendships, it's job related. And it seems as if this person is pretty unhappy and they are not feeling great about themselves. They're not feeling solid in who they are. They're feeling unsure. They're feeling like they don't fit in. And instead of trying to work through that or talk through that or get through that, they end up projecting those things onto other people. And so I do my best to think that must be a really hard space to live in. That must be a really that those thoughts going through your head all the time and then living in this negative bubble where everyone's doing something wrong, everyone's against you, everyone's plotting, to do something wrong against you. That seems like a really sad space to live in. So I try to send positive thoughts and give grace for people like that. And then at the end of the day, some people you have to separate from. Some people you're just unable to be in healthy relationship with. You're unable to have that authentic, truthful, back and forth communication where you can apologize to them, they can apologize to you. You can work through those issues, come up with a plan to have better communication in the future, work out why it wasn't working to begin with, what emotions you had, what emotions they had. And if you can do that, if you can work through all of that, you can bring that relationship to the next level. I've had numbers of friendships that I've been able to do that. Even some, people within my family unit where we've been able to figure out little better ways to communicate with one another. Um, but at the end of the day, you still have to listen to your gut. You still have to trust your intuition, and whether or not you can trust someone, again, based on your own personal experiences. Do not let other people in your ear talking about things you know nothing about and you don't understand any of the dynamic between those two people. Don't let them influence you to look at someone with a lens or a certain pair of glasses that aren't your glasses. And when it does come to light that this person might be also talking about you, or saying not nice things about you, or not nice things about people that you know are incredible people, take a period of time, take those glasses off, and maybe look at it for what it is. Sometimes there's one person that's causing a lot of toxic behavior that we either need to remove from our lives, downplay in our lives, or do something to protect ourselves from the things that they are saying. I love great relationships. And as I get older, I crave closer relationships, more and less external relationships. I don't need a ton of them. I want those close relationships, those people that I just can't wait to see, can't wait to hug, can't wait to give a kiss to. And I know that my heart is safe and in a good space with them, and that we care for one another, are respectful, and cherish each other. I hope that for you as well. Have a great day.